Okay, so let's switch gears really quickly. In our last episode, when you were talking about Abhinandan, I picked up wind like you were really, really close to this entire operation. So, first of all, tell us how you are related in this way to Abhinandan's entire operation, and then we'll take it from there.
Yes, so in 2019, I was still serving. Now I'm retired, but at that time, I was a serving squad leader. So my posting at that time was in Air Headquarters, in Plans Directorate. So operations and plans, they are responsible for the operations for all the day-to-day operations, war fighting, etc. And the plans, they are responsible for war planning, contingencies, etc. So once you are posted there, it is your job. You're not flying, so I'll not say that I was part of the mission. I was in the air, but I was definitely part of a planning team because it was our duty. So we have like I was, I think, the junior most, and we had a whole team with seniors, etc. And then right now, as you can see, that in this Operation Sindoor, also the chief of the air staff was in the operations room. He was, I think, again, it was Reuters article or maybe Alan Vaughan's article in
Writers,
Air Forces Monthly that he was sleeping there.
yeah, with the
So there
mattress.
was a mattress. He had a yeah, he had a prayer mat. He had a mattress, and for 3 4 days continuously he was there. So that's how like Pakistan Air Force works. In 2019, the chief of the air staff, he was personally overseeing all this everything. But once it comes down the line, the sundry work, all the things which you have to type on computer and you have to
Paperwork.
make like yeah paperwork and on the maps and mark targets etc. And so that's I think the job of squad leaders and wing commanders. So I was part of that team. So that and we were actually preparing for the high mark exercise. It's a big exercise every 4 to 5 years. Pakistan Air Force, like we do this at a national level. The whole Air Force and then Army, Navy, they are uh, also in that joint operations. So it's like just a war game scenario. So in 2016, the previous high mark exercise, and in 2019, because it was supposed to happen in 2015. I don't know for whatever reason it was in 2016. So we decided again to go for high mark 2019. So actually, what we were doing day and night, a lot of planning and everything was going. The hard work was going towards that uh, high mark exercise. And
Let's start
and
from here, Ali bhai. Let's start from here. So,
yeah.
uh, were you guys on high alert before India made an entry into Pakistani airspace? Were you guys? Did you guys have an idea that India is about to do certain sort of an aggression?
So as I said, I was the junior most there, so maybe there was some inkling on the upper levels, but till us at our tactical level, we were just told that you should do these things for the high mark exercise. As I said, we were preparing for that. On 14th February, there was that Pulwama attack, and after that, I think the high command, the intelligence agencies, and the government and the top leadership services chief, they knew that something is cooking across the border
Okay.
because after 14th, I think I was there like maybe for 2 weeks till 26th. Yeah. So I at my level, we were just doing hard work from morning till night regarding that exercise. On 20
Okay.
on
Okay.
26th,
One more thing. So,
once
once
yeah.
we us civilians have we think that whenever there's these sort of exercises going on from one side, there's a chance of something coming out of that exercise. Is that true? I mean, if India says
Yeah,
that there's an exercise going on, you guys go on high alert on your own. Is that true?
yeah, something like that because right now, recently, this after Operation Sindoor, there was this Tirshol exercise, a huge
Yeah.
exercise, and we both sides give
Where?
NOTAMs,
Yeah.
that is notice to airmen, and then NOTMARS, notice for mariners. So if Navy is involved, then it is NOTMAR. If Air Force is, then it is NOTAM. So there was a NOTAM in this Rajasthan area for that exercise, and many of the Pakistanis, they were of the opinion
Thinking.
that okay, Indians are coming for Operation Sindoor 2.0 in the guise of this exercise. So it's actually not that difficult. We also announced some exercises. We also gave our NOTAMs. So we just go on a, I'll not say high alert, but
Yeah.
definitely from the peace time, we go, I'll say we keep, they keep us on our toes. We just give also our NOTAMs and then our pilots are ready and we say, okay, you're going to fly in that area, maybe combat air patrols and some training, etc. So if the Indians come, in any, God forbid, any eventuality.
Hmm.
So you should be ready. You are already in the air.
Hmm.
So you should face them.
Hmm.
However, if they don't come, just go do your own training, which we have to do daily.
Hmm.
Definitely, we
Hmm.
pilots fly almost every day,
Hmm.
so that it counts towards your
Hmm.
training.
Hmm.
So you just see where is that NOTAM,
Hmm.
where the Indians are doing their exercises, where is the deployment, where they
Hmm.
are flying. Because now these modern AVACs and radars, ground-based radars, you can see across the border. They can see across the border. So we know where they are flying if it
Hmm.
is close to border,
Hmm.
and they know where we are flying.
Hmm.
So generally, once we see that, okay, this is their deployment, this is where they are flying for exercise, we also counter it by flying opposite to the border in
Hmm.
that area,
Hmm.
and that all the rules of engagement are clear, that you should not engage or you should not go
Hmm.
towards the border.
Hmm.
However, you should stay ready. It should be in your back of the mind that if Indians they become naughty
Hmm.
and they try to ingress from some side,
Hmm.
at least there should be some response.
Hmm.
But as in 2019, it the response is at a quite lower level because it's not a wartime scenario.
Hmm.
So once on 26th February, they crossed LOC and they lobbed bombs towards Balakot, which missed the target. Indians say we killed 300 terrorists. That's again, I'll not go that rabbit hole. I know personally very well that they missed the targets. Anyhow, by the time
Okay, okay.
by the time our
First,
aircraft, which were
you said they lobbed bombs. We read that they release
yeah.
payloads, and also there's a difference between missiles as well. So, what really went down, and what differences do these things have?
Okay, so basically now we call them standoff weapons. What this means is that previously the aircraft had to go above the target
Yeah.
to bomb the target, right? Now the bombs, they have different types of kits, range extension kit, they can glide, they have those small wings, so their range has increased to about 60 to 70 kilometers. So now they are standoff weapons that even if I fire a bomb, a simple bomb, which was previously going to hit maybe at 1 to 2 kilometers maximum, now the same bomb can glide till 60 to 70 kilometers. Then there are missiles, cruise missiles, air launched cruise missiles, ALCM. Those missiles have their own engines, which are giving them thrust. So once you launch the missile flies with its own thrust. So the range increases anywhere from 150 kilometer to 200 to 300 kilometers even. So the bombs, they are also standoff now. 70 to 100 kilometers range is less than missile, but still it is more than the previous, which we saw that the aircraft in Second World War also, once you are going to bomb Berlin from UK or France to Germany or from Germany to London, the aircraft had to be above the target. Now that's not the case. Even with the bombs, you have enough range. So the Indians in 2019, they used spice bombs, Israeli made bombs, on their Mirage 2000 aircraft, which had, I think, range of 70 kilometers or 80, I don't remember exactly. But that means that they were standoff. So they just crossed LOC, the line of control between Azad Kashmir and Indian occupied Kashmir, just to make a point that we don't consider this international border. So this Azad Kashmir is for us, like for Indians, it is Pakistan occupied Kashmir, and this is our territory and whatever. So that was just a psychological thing. However, they did not enter in the Pakistani airspace, and they just crossing LOC, they lobbed those bombs. That means that they fired bombs, and the bombs they could glide for 60 to 70 kilometers. And from Azad Kashmir, they crossed the main like international border for India. For us, it is just a boundary line of Azad Jammu Kashmir and KPK. So they then fell inside KPK Balakot. The aircraft were not within Pakistani airspace, but the bombs they definitely came and they hit Balakot, but they missed the target. Again, the reasons are that Prime Minister Modi thinks that once there are clouds, it is better. But once there are clouds, the TV guided missiles, bombs which they were trying to fire, actually the pilot cannot see. Rather, the pilot is going to do is just look at his screen, and there is like a TV camera in front of that bomb. So if the TV camera cannot see the target, right? So you cannot precisely hit your target. So those clouds were a big issue, but Prime Minister Modi says that he is very happy that he knows better than the pilots. Again, my sympathies with the Indian Air Force pilots.
You
But
haven't
anyways,
forgotten that one, huh? You haven't
no,
forgotten that
absolutely.
one.
Actually, that is classic. I don't have any better word. That actually it is beyond classic. That once a pilot, whether it is Indian or whatever, I'll not say go. A professional pilot is telling you that we have a issue. We have an issue. There is overcast, clouds over target, so we should abort the mission. And a civilian prime minister tells you that I think it will be good for our aircraft. They will be hidden in the clouds. So the pilot does not know anything about the clouds, but the prime minister does, and he orders them that you should go. It is better for you. And then that is a Bosch mission. You miss the targets, and then you come back. However, as I said, our aircraft they were not in the vicinity. They were in the air, maybe towards the south. So by the time they went towards that area, immediately those aircraft turned back because they were coming from Indian occupied Kashmir. So they just crossed LOC and then they just fired the
Turn
bombs
back.
and they immediately turned back. So there was turned
What
back.
was
So
this
there was not
formation
enough
looking
time
like?
for
How many planes were these, and what planes did they consist of? What was the formation
yeah,
like?
they 2000s and there were I think 16 in total. Six were in this air to ground mode. They were going to lob those bombs. Six were I think standby strike. We call it a strike package. Air to ground
Okay.
is like strike, and the four other like six main strike package, six standby. If something happens to those bombs of God forbid any technical malfunction, or we also do these things like standby is important in especially in aviation. So six main strike package, six plus six, 12, and then four Mirage 2000 were in air to air escort mode. That if any Pakistani aircraft comes and there is some dogfight or BVR engagement, so those four were not carrying bombs, they were carrying air to air missiles. So total 16 Mirage 2000s. And I don't know why Indians did not use their Su-30 MKI or whatever. So mainly it was one single big package of consisting of aircraft, only Mirage 2000 aircraft.
Is this the big
No,
package,
I
or
don't
is
think
this a
any MiG-29.
small package in aviation? How do you rate this
No,
package?
it's a big package. Yeah, it's a big package because 16 is a big number. Generally, the minimum, we don't fly solo generally. The minimum is one element of two aircraft, one leader and his wingman, right? So I in the last episode also I made you my wingman that we are flying together. So there is a leader and then there is a wingman. So two ship is generally I think the single element, and then there is a four ship, two elements, then one leader, then his number two, then a deputy leader number three, and then another. So most common, I think the formation is this four ship. Generally, you see this four ship. Then there is some six ship, six aircraft. So four versus six or six versus six, etc. Four is most common. So once you go anything above 8 or 10 in double figures, we call it a big package.
So
So
anyway,
16 is a big
yeah.
package.
So
Yeah.
this package took off, and you guys were like watching them right from the beginning, or when they came near the border, then you had your eyes on them. How does it run? Who calls the sign? Who raises the flag? Okay, these guys are coming over here.
So basically, 24/7, you have pilots and air defense controllers on duties, whether it is Eid, whether it is Sunday, whether it is 14th August. It is not possible that some of the pilots, they are not at air defense alert, or some air defense controllers sitting in front of the surveillance screen, looking at the radar screen and looking for those blips. But there are some gates, right? Some, I'll say, parameters, because generally they are continuously flying in their own airspace. We are continuously flying in our own space. So the Mirage 2000 is based at Gwalior base. I think it is in the center of India, south of Pune. I don't remember exactly the map. I am out of Air Force now. At that time, it was all on our fingertips. So from Gwalior, they flew towards north. Now Indians are taking off from their own base and they are just flying north towards Punjab and Indian
Wait.
occupied Kashmir
Wait.
and Kashmir and
Just a second. So because we share borders, we share walls, we can like look
yeah,
over the wall anytime. Whenever their
yeah,
planes take off,
absolutely.
we know exactly that the planes took off, or do we get to know when they come to a certain height?
Actually, we have certain I'll say area or distance within the border. I don't know exactly, maybe it is 150 to 200 kilometers. We cannot see beyond that. They cannot see beyond that. Towards our side, we cannot see beyond that. So if the bases which are in Indian Punjab, Rajasthan, Gujarat, like close to border, maybe 200, 250 kilometers, that we can see that they are flying from those bases. However, in the central India or South India or Eastern India, that is definitely beyond the range of our radar. So if some aircraft flies maybe within central India, then we cannot see. But again, as I said, it does not matter because I am only worried about those aircraft which are coming close to my border. So if you are flying and within 200 kilometers of the border, I can see you. But as I said, I am not worried. We have our own gates and parameters. So if the aircraft is coming towards my border and it is maybe, let's say, at 50 kilometers, then I'll say, okay, this is something not right. So then I will definitely tell higher command that there is an Indian aircraft coming at 50 kilometers, and it is if it still continues towards the border, then we call it scramble. We scramble our own jets, which are on air defense alert. By the time that aircraft is entering our border or coming close to the border, our own aircraft, they are scrambled. It's there is time, I think 3 4 minutes. It takes maybe 5 minutes. So those aircraft have that pilots are sitting on the ground, aircraft is ready, and they have that reaction time of 4 5 minutes. That as soon as the telephone rings, that scramble, you just have to run towards your aircraft, start your aircraft, line up, and then take off within those that time window of 4 to 5 minutes. So the controllers, they know that if I have to scramble, the delay is this much, let's say 4 minutes. So he take a decision before that, because if the Indians are coming, so he has to give the pilot 4 minutes if he's not already in the air. So that's the thing, that if they are flying like the Mirage 2000 formation, it was flying from north to south within India. It was no problem for me. Even when it entered Indian occupied Kashmir towards Srinagar, still, as I said, maybe it's their own training, maybe they are just ferrying their aircraft from Gwalior to Srinagar. However, once it turned towards the west, towards Azad Kashmir, then definitely I'll say, okay, now they are up to something. Then if the aircraft are in the area, which they were not in the vicinity, they were towards the south, there were some aircraft. So the air defense controller, he immediately directed those aircraft towards north, that Indians are coming. But by the time, as I said, our aircraft, they approached that area, they had already lobbed the bombs and turned back. So by the time they went over Azad Kashmir, there was no Indian aircraft anywhere to be seen. And then after that, once even if you can lock them beyond border, if you do not have weapons free, or you do not have permission to engage them, you cannot shoot them. So this, like in 2025, this Operation Sindoor also, initially we were all, their aircraft and our aircraft, they were face to face, 42 on our side and almost double, around 72, 75 on Indian side. They were trying to lock us, we were trying to lock theirs. But initially the rules of engagement were that deter the enemy. The chief of the air staff said that you have to deter the enemy, that we are ready. We are, again, they had four packages. So 16 to 20 aircraft almost in every package. So one in Indian occupied Kashmir, one in Indian Punjab, then one in Rajasthan, one towards Gujarat. So now we also had our own packages to deter them. Once they started firing, then definitely they became the aggressor. Now they are in their own airspace. They have not violated my airspace. But because they have fired at my territory, now it is weapons free. So immediately chief of the air staff, he, because he was sitting there, so he immediately within second, he changed the rules of engagement, and from deter, they become assure kill, deny own loss.
Hmm.
Before that, even if a pilot had a lock and he could have shot that Indian aircraft, he was not allowed to. So we call it weapons tight. He was weapons tight. So until and unless you are weapons free, even if you have a lock, you are not allowed to shoot your missile and kill that enemy aircraft.
So what happened here when they the first day they came in and lobbed bombs from within, didn't enter Pakistani territory,
Yeah.
and then went back.
No.
And then what happened?
So
Then came, so what happened in
uh,
the headquarters after this? You guys got
yeah. So
together
as
and
I
went
said,
into the
as I
lab.
said, I was at the end of that food chain. So I just went at in like office as any other day on 26th February, and I saw, okay, Indians have shot some bombs, and I was, because like then there is intelligence and all that, and so okay, fine, we said they have missed the target. And I just went into my office like normal day, and I am doing my job of that high mark exercise. But at the top level, the people, as I said, that I'm sure they knew that something is going to happen. And then once it happened, they decided, okay, we are going to retaliate. They made a plan. So we were just told that, okay, fine, go and make this plan. And I was still thinking that maybe it's a part of exercise, or maybe it's just practice for us. I don't know what's going on. Nobody tells me anything. But we were, I think, awake for maybe whole night. I don't remember, but it was like 3 or 4 in the morning. We just made that plan and then just gave it to the squadron. Then I went home very, very late, and I was asleep. So by the time Pakistan Air Force was hitting Indian targets at 9:30 a.m. on 27th, I was sleeping in my room because I was awake whole night making that plan. And after that, once I woke up, I saw the news that okay, one aircraft shot down here and one aircraft shot down here, and then DGISPR's that briefing that Wing Commander Abhinandan, he has also been captured as prisoner of war. So then I went to my office and I asked for the details, and then we came to know that okay, what happened was that once we were the plan was basically, yeah. So basically, this video, Air Marshal Hasib Paracha, the Deputy Chief of Air Staff Operations at that time, like Sir Aurangzeb, he was now in this briefing. So DCS Ops, Deputy Chief of Air Staff Operations, he is responsible for all the operations. He's like number two of the Chief of the Air Staff. So he, I think on 6th September, or I don't remember the date, he showed videos of those strikes. So the plan was that you will not hit the actual targets. We do not want deaths of Indian soldiers or things like that. We don't want to escalate things. Pakistan is a responsible, rational nuclear state. So both nuclear, India and Pakistan, nuclear neighbors. So things should be restrained. We should show restraint. But important thing is that India should know that we have the capability. So the plan was that show the capability, but don't hit actual targets. So what we chose was that Mirages, they have those TV guided bombs, standoff weapons, H2 and H4. So we use the H4. They have a TV camera in their nose. So the TV guided these H4 bombs, they are standoff weapons again, around I think 100 kilometer, more than 100 kilometer range. So we are going to use those bombs, and then at the last moment, the pilot is going to move the bomb away from the target and into some open area, because the pilot can control. You have that guidance with you, and the video will be shown then to Indians that look, we could have hit your target, but we chose not to. But we have the capability, so please come back to your senses. So on again, Indians were ready. They were thinking that we will also retaliate. This in like we studied in our Pak studies that India attacked during night, and we say okay, these are all stories, etc. But actually, I have seen with my own eyes in 2019 also and 2025 also. India comes during night after midnight. It was, I think, 2 a.m., 2:30 a.m. in 2019, and 1 a.m. around 12:30 or 1 a.m. in 2025. And then we retaliate in broad daylight. So they were expecting us on the night of 27th, and for the whole night, they were flying combat air patrols, and they were Su-30 MKIs and MiG-29s and Mirage 2000s and all their aircraft in the air. There were no Rafales back then. We decided to hit them at 9:30, 9 o'clock or 9:30, so 9 to 9:30 a.m. Again, I didn't even know the actual time over target. So I made the plan. Like we were a whole team. I was the junior most in that. We went to sleep, and I still did not know that it's an actual plan. These things, in my hindsight, 2020 hindsight. So after that, I came to know that okay, what the plan we were making was the actual plan, and the top brass decided that we are going to hit Indian targets, not them, but miss the targets on purpose. And then we will show the video. DGSPR will come and show the video that, see, we have the capability. However, we don't want to escalate the things. Once this was happening, JF-17, they also were in air to ground role. So ground role.
First,
So four targets were hit by.
let's clarify. So the place that Pakistan attacked, how far was this from the border? And did Pakistan enter, or did Pakistan also?
no. We did not enter their airspace because, as I said, it was standoff weapons. So we also lobbed bombs, fired with them from our own airspace. So the point is that we did not want to escalate the thing. So if I am not trying to hit the target, so entering an enemy airspace, it is something big. You have violated airspace. India tried to violate our airspace in this 7th May Operation Sindoor. We did not allow them because this is something actually like what Israel has done to Iran or Qatar.
Qatar.
So it's quite embarrassing, shameful that you were ready, but another air force came and violated your airspace. So that is your number one mission, that whatever happens, India is a big air force and all that, but I will not let them enter my airspace. So similarly, I did not also go in their airspace because that is an escalation at the next level. So we also fired standoff weapons from our own airspace. They have that range. JF-17 has those bombs that I told you, glide bombs. So around 60 to 70 kilometers. So no need to go in their airspace from my side of the border. I shot them and maybe they glide if I am 20 kilometers inside my border. So they can go well in 40 to 50 kilometers across the line of control in Indian occupied Kashmir. So we decided again that we will just go in the disputed territory. That was the decision of the government at that time. Maybe if it was up to me, I would have gone for Indian mainland, like we have gone this time in Adhampur, Indian Punjab. But again, above my pay grade. So the government decided that we will go in the Indian occupied Kashmir, though that Nowshera Rajouri sector and all that. And then we will show the video that we have that video, TV guided bombs on Mirage. The JF-17, it had those normal bombs. They do not make any video. They just
So,
go and hit on the
do you
coordinates.
guys plan what planes are you gonna employ for this mission? Who plans the employment of the plane? I mean, why did you guys go for JF-17s, not for any other plane like others that we have?
Basically, it all depends upon the requirement. Once the, I don't know, government or the military top brass, they tell you that, okay, this is the mission. Now, as a professional pilot, I should know that, okay, for this mission, this aircraft is best. F-16 is good in air-to-air role, so I will put F-16 in air-to-air role. JF-17 can do both roles, air-to-ground and air-to-air also, so I'll put JF-17 in both the roles. In air-to-ground, one four ship for air-to-ground, or two aircraft or four aircraft, and then similarly two or four aircraft for air to air. So that planning is like your part and parcel, that for these requirements, for this target to weapon matching, this aircraft is best. I will not send my F-7s. They are old, like MiG-21 of India, so they are air superiority fighters, but they have very less range. And the Mirages, I will not use them in air-to-air role because they are a strike aircraft. So I will use Mirages with those bomb loads only in air-to-ground. And then I know that for the protection of Mirages, I have to give them some air-to-air good aircraft like high-tech aircraft, F-16, JF-17. At that time, we did not have any J-10C. So it was basically Mirage, JF-17, and F-16. F-16 in air-to-air role, JF-17 in air-to-air and air-to-ground both, and Mirage only in air to ground. So that was our planning. And then once you plan, you tell them that the squadron commanders, and they know best that, okay, this weapon is, for example, the BVR, beyond visual range missile on F-16. We will put these many missiles, etc., and we will go like this. And tactics are up to those pilots. So that's why we train daily. That once the requirement comes from the top, it should be me who should be able to deliver whatever tactics I want to use. We are going to train the operational doctrine, etc. And these exercises which we were talking about, the high mark exercise, the most important thing in these exercises is that you have to check that maybe the new tactics or the new doctrine that you are employing, does it work or not. So it is just like a war game, that there is one good force, blue force, and then red force, and then they are fighting like Pakistan and India or any other enemy. And then after that you debrief, and then you say, okay, fine, these tactics are best. This is what professionalism is. And so the thing is that once the requirements come from the top, the planners, they plan the mission, and then they give it to the squadrons, and then the squadrons, they know best, the pilots, how to fly those aircraft and how to employ those tactics. And at that time we were going for those videos. And unlucky for Abhinandan, he came in his MiG-21, and he
Yeah.
and
Where did
he was shot down.
Do we know where he flew off from? How many were they? And what
Yes,
happened next?
Srinagar.
Yeah.
Yes. So basically, Indians actually we shot two aircraft. Sir Hassan Siddiqui, he was given a medal for shooting down a Su-30 MKI, but that was again the wreckage fell well within Indian occupied Kashmir. So the Indians they said that there is no other aircraft lost. Just like in this Operation Sindoor, that I know that it is 8-0, and but there are only videos of four aircraft. So the Indians say that we only lost one Rafale in Batinda. I know that four Rafale have been lost, but so anyhow, but so the point is that that Su-30 MKI was well within Indian occupied Kashmir, so it was shot down and it crashed there. The Abhinandan, he and his number two, I don't remember his name, Squadron or something. They took off from 50. It was 51. Now that squadron has disbanded, it's no more. Just after 2019, it was the MiG-21s in Srinagar, 51 squadron. They were retired. So he took off from Srinagar. From I think he was on ADA, like Air Defense Alert, and he was scrambled. He came towards that LOC. He was trying to face those F-16s, and because of very heavy jamming, Pakistan Air Force, Alhamdulillah, we are very good in electronic warfare also. So this like this cowboy thing, that this chivalry and this fighting. So the people only like to see this dogfight. But the other, which maybe not very I'll say violent, or these things which people think boring, electronic warfare and jamming and like soft kill, non-kinetic kill. That is also very important. So we actually first we did soft kill on Abhinandan's MiG-21. He was coming towards LOC, and the controller, Seconder Minty Agarwal, Indians showed her interview afterwards also. She was giving calls on radio to Abhinandan, the turn back, but he could not listen to her because of that jamming. His RT was jammed completely, and he was like not in complete of control of the situation. He did not have the complete situational awareness, so he didn't know when he was about to cross that LOC. Lucky for us that if we had also shot him down once he was towards that side of LOC, towards Srinagar, again maybe Indians would have said that we have not shot down Abhinandan's MiG-21 too. But because the wreckage fell in Azad Kashmir and his parachute also, and he was taken prisoner of war, now the Indians cannot lie. Abhinandan was not shot, right? Like that Su-30 MKI. However, what they said was that MiG-21 shot down an F-16. So Abhinandan should be given a medal because before being shot, he was able to shoot down a Pakistani F-16. So a MiG-21 shooting down F-16, that is something huge. Only if it was true, but it is not. So I am 100%
So
sure
I have a
that
question.
Abhinandan,
So what happened is
yeah,
it might be like this, that if once a plane is hurt in any way, it's damaged or it has been taken down but it hasn't landed yet on the ground, it's the inertia that keeps the plane going moving in the same direction. So what Abhinandan, when Abhinandan was caught, was he inside India and the inertia pulled him in, or was he already inside Pakistan and then Pakistan shot him down?
that's a very good question. I don't remember the exact location now where he was hit, but I think, in my opinion, he was, I think, exactly over LOC. Like maybe he was not inside Azad Kashmir, but he was like coming in, like you said, inertia, that momentum of the aircraft. He was coming in full speed towards that LOC. He couldn't hear to the radio calls. He didn't know that I'm crossing LOC. So he was just shot over LOC around maybe 1 kilometer on that side, 1 kilometer toward this side, and then definitely that momentum and everything, the wreckage fell there, and also his parachute, even if maybe he ejected towards that Indian side also. The winds can carry parachute towards this
Backwards.
side. So let's say he was 1 kilometer, yeah, he was 1 kilometer short of LOC. He was still in Indian occupied Kashmir, not Azad Kashmir, and he was shot there. So that 1 kilometer that the wreckage fell toward that side, and once he ejected his parachute with winds, they also carried him across the LOC. So this is a possibility. As I said, it's 6 years back now, and I don't remember the exact place, but he was definitely on the LOC or about to cross the LOC. And even if he was inside, then definitely he was an aggressor. He was going to shot down. But even before that, once the lock was there, he is coming, and then that BVR, MRAM M120. It was at quite a close range. I think this skill was about 15 to 20 kilometers,
Okay.
or maybe 22 kilometers, and the other one, it was at 40 to 50 kilometers. That Su-30 MK. It was, as I said, well within
Indian
that Indian
territory.
occupied Kashmir, but it was yeah, yeah. So no, I'll not call
Indian
Indian
occupied
occupied
Kashmir.
Kashmir
Yeah,
Indian
yeah.
territory.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah. So
Indian
but
occupied
but
Kashmir.
still, the Su-30, yeah. So the Su-30 was coming, and he was trying to lock those F-16s. So it's just like that. They are coming from this side trying to kill me. I am going like this. So we call it long stick, short stick. So the range of BVR, my BVR, F-16's MRAM is more. So before Su-30 could get a lock on me, or maybe he could shoot, I shot him down. So it was like a split second, maybe 2 to 3 seconds more. If I don't shoot him, then maybe he gets a lock, a valid lock, and then he shoots his BVR on me. And God forbid, we actually would have lost maybe one
What?
F-16 if that Su-30 or MiG-21 could have got the shot. But as I said, Indians will not believe me. They still don't believe me. I am on social media nowadays. Before I was serving, so I was not in these debates. But now, after
You're open
retiring,
for
I'm a
debate.
civilian,
Yeah,
so I
I
use
know.
social media.
Yeah.
Yeah. So now I tell them that since 1971, Alhamdulillah, nobody has shot down a Pakistani aircraft. We shot an Israeli aircraft in 1973, Sir Sattar Alvi. Then in from 1979 to 89 during the Afghan war, we shot down 8 to 10 Afghan and Soviet Air Force, Afghan Air Force and Soviet Air Force planes. Again, they did not shoot our F-16. We shot then in 2019 also, Abhinandan. He did not shoot RF-16. And in 2025 also, Air Chief Marshal AP Singh says 12 F-16s, one C-130, two AWACS, and it's such a long list. I would, again, Indians will not believe me, but Alhamdulillah, we did not lose any aircraft.
There's also
So
Sir
since
Saiful Azam
1971.
as well. Saiful Azam
Yeah,
as well.
it actually I didn't count him because he was in 1967 war. So
Yeah.
I
Okay.
started the
Okay.
counter from
Okay.
1971.
Yeah. Okay.
So basically in 1965, definitely we lost aircraft. So it's called as Sarfraz Rafiqi Shaheed, and so in 65 we lost the aircraft. In 67, Sir Saiful Azam went to this
Jordan.
Arab-Israel war. Initially, he was flying from Jordan, and then next day he was flying from Iraq.
Iraq.
So he killed like he shot three Israeli jets, and they did not shoot him. So it's like 3-0 for Pakistan and Israel. Then in 1971, again Pakistan India war, we shot almost double the aircraft, but definitely Pakistan also lost aircraft in
Ali
combat.
bhai, why while
So
making
after 1971,
let me just
yeah.
quickly, while making these plans, like you were told to make a plan and then the plan was executed. While making this plan, do you have do you make space for setting up booby trap? What I'm trying to say is, was this a part of the plan to go inside and try would provoke any other planes, jets, Indian jets, and trying to swap them into our area? Is this always a part of the plan to try to like suck in the other aircrafts in our area?
At that time, actually, we did not have a plan that we will lure them in our area and then we will shoot down. But as I said, that the pilot, he is ready for any variation. So we just told them that, okay, this is your target. You are not going to hit the actual target. You will make the video and you will just show the Indians that if we want to attack, we can actually destroy your all these targets. Now, once all this is happening, the Indian Air Force definitely they will try and come and shoot you. So now the rules of engagement are this, that either you wait for them to come in your airspace, or like that Su-30 MKI, that I could not have waited that okay, maybe I'll lure him close to LOC, and once he will cross the LOC I'll shoot him. Otherwise he's going to shoot you. So that is up to the pilot. As I said, this is the professionalism, this is the training, that you give them these rules of engagement, that you should not be the aggressor. But if an aircraft is firing at you, or about to fire, rather, firing is too late. So if you think that he's going to fire at you from his own airspace, he is a valid target. or if he's not firing, like that Abhinandan was, he was not about, because he had those small range. MiG-21 is not a very good aircraft. Now it has been retired by Indian Air
Hmm.
Force also.
The
So
flying
he at
coffin.
that time could not shoot me. Yeah, flying coffin, more than
Hmm.
400 crashes and all that.
Hmm.
So these two basically criteria is up to the pilot, that I am telling you that you should not be the aggressor, that you are just firing at your own whim, whatever lock you're getting,
Hmm.
and you. So if you think that he is going to shoot you from his own airspace, again, all bets are off. You can first shoot him, and
Hmm.
definitely you should shoot him.
Hmm.
Otherwise, if you think that he's not able to shoot you, but he's about to enter our airspace, then he's violating my airspace, again a valid target. So two of these, Abhinandan was about to
Hmm.
violate, or maybe he violated. As I said, he was. I don't remember exactly where was the location, but I think he was at LOC, so he was about to violate.
Hmm.
That was a valid target,
Hmm.
and the other Su-30 MKI, which was not close to LOC.
Hmm.
But as I said, he was coming, he had the radar, he was trying to get a radar lock, and maybe he was going to fire also after a few seconds once he gets in the range. Because again, those Russian missiles, Adder BVR has smaller range than these BVRs, American BVRs. So again, that pilot knew that if I do not shoot him within
Hmm.
next maybe 2 to 3 seconds, he is going to shoot
Take
me.
me down.
So
Okay.
definitely that's again a valid
Okay.
target. It's again
So
a
so
valid target.
did Abhinandan get some sort of a warning from his own machine that someone is locking you? What would Abhinandan be looking at? What did he get any sort of a warning, not from his ground staff, but from his own machine?
I think that RWR, we call it radar warning receiver. That warning is given to the pilot by that avionics. So the RWR, definitely he was going to tell him that you have been locked and you are being fired upon and you are a goner. This is game over for you. But as I said, that because in electronic warfare also, the non-kinetic, this part of the multi-domain operations, Pakistan Air Force is alhamdulillah ahead of Indian Air Force. So because of that soft kill, we had already done a soft kill on him. The blinders squadron of PEF, it is their part and parcel that they do not fight this kinetic war, but jamming, electronic intelligence, signal intelligence, these kind of things are their baby. So that aircraft like AVAX and this electronic warfare, these two aircraft are with the fighters. I'm sorry. Apologies to their pilots. I forgot to mention them in the. I am a fighter pilot, so I always think only about fighters. So F-16, JS-17, Mirage, and then also
Evacs.
AVAX and this electronic warfare aircraft. Yeah. So though I think the skill of those pilots, that they scored a soft kill over Abhinandan's aircraft. He was not able to listen to the radio calls. His avionics, which were supposed to warn him, they were also being jammed. So he did not know anything, in my opinion, because of that jamming. So that soft kill is awarded to that squadron, that you have very successfully completely jammed all the avionics of that MiG-21 of Abhinandan, Wing Commander Abhinandan's MiG-21 aircraft. And I think that's why he would not have got any. Otherwise, if there is no jamming, then definitely there is those avionics, electronic war, self-protection jammers, SPJs, RWR, missile approach warning system, a number of these different
Can a
electronic
pilot
warfare and
eject
electronic
after getting
countermeasures.
hit? Can a pilot eject after getting
Yeah,
hit?
absolutely,
So, in your
absolutely. Yeah.
view, in your opinion, Abhinandan ejected after he got hit.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, that's actually what happened. He did not know that he's being fired. Once the missile hit him, only then he knew that, okay, so I have been shot down, and then he ejected. Because generally the missile, it maybe takes off your wing, maybe takes off your tail. So until and unless it has directly impacted the cockpit where the pilot is, if it has impacted any other place on
So,
the aircraft,
in the last episode, when I
you
was
can
asking
eject.
you that what part of the aircraft, I was actually thinking about Abhinandan. I was thinking that there would be some places that the missile could hit, and the pilot would still be able to come out of the aircraft. And
Okay. Okay. Now I get your question. I was thinking last time you said that where the aircraft is missile is aiming, and
aiming, yeah,
I think I replied that the IR infrared missile goes for the engine,
yeah,
because the engine is the most
yeah,
hot part.
yeah.
But this radar guided, it goes for the whole
This
aircraft. So okay,
advance,
now I
yeah,
get your point.
yeah.
So yeah. So basically, if the missile hits an aircraft, there is a good chance that the pilot will definitely have time to eject.
Come out. Oh.
So and Abhinandan ejected after he was like shot.
So Ali bhai, this was so ironic for us civilians. Like a man, and 10 for 10, 10 out of 10 for his professionalism and everything. A man who's is riding such an advanced machine. When he came on the ground, the first question that he asked was, "Where am I?" So this was so like ironic, man. It was so like a man so advanced, and in a blink of an eye, he doesn't even know where he is. Is he in his own country, or is he in Pakistan? So that was like very. It like sat with me for a while. I was thinking like, wow, pilot is yeah,
That credit goes to
yeah,
yeah, that credit goes to that soft kill, because I think before that soft kill, he knew where he's exactly, but because of that jamming, his GPS, his RWR, his radio, he completely lost situational awareness that where is he on the ground, what is his ground position, and he was still unsure that on what side of LOC have I landed, whether it is Indian Kashmir,
yeah,
Indian occupied Kashmir, or whether it is Azad Kashmir. So that again, as I said, that this was due to that jamming, and it has also been a forte of Pakistan Air Force, because this multi-domain operations, Sir Aurangzeb used this word in the
pressure.
DSPR, yeah, professor, and many of my civilian friends and others also, my audience, they asked me, कि, यार, what is multi-domain operations? So multi-domain operations actually means that you are not just now flying an aircraft with missile. You have to integrate space technology, cyber, electronic warfare, artificial intelligence. So if you are only thinking like Indians, अगर राफेल होता तो नतीजा कुछ और होता. Rafael is just one platform. Now the platform cannot do anything if you have not uh, integrated
Connected.
everything into this network, yeah, network centric warfare. So Pakistan Air Force was doing it in 2019 also, but within last 3 years, the current leadership, they have completely focused their doctrine from fighting of a fighter aircraft to this multi-domain operations, because we were very good in flying already, but this is where we were lacking. And the Indians, they were actually caught off guard because they thought that because they have a good platform and they have S-400, they can just
Do
take
anything.
on Pakistan Air Force like this. Yeah.
So so
But
so
Pakistan Air Force actually surprised them. Yeah.
everyone. So Abhinandan was in the air and he was landing down, and he saw his machine go down, and then he's still coming down, and then he landed into Pakistan. So what happens? I've heard that there's a checklist on the pilot once he ejects. There's a lot of things that he has to do. One, and then I've also heard that pilots also carry a hand weapon as well. What safety measures
Yes.
does a pilot have when he lands into enemy territory by mistake?
So he had a gun, definitely a 9 millimeter pistol. But with that 9 millimeter pistol, obviously you cannot engage a whole
A mob.
I'll say platoon of
Yeah.
soldiers or a mob like that. Yeah. So I think I don't know. I have also heard it on media, or I think on social media, that once he asked that where am I? So an old man, he
Yeah.
replied that you are towards the
India.
Indian side, and
Yeah.
he came out and he had that, I think, pistol in his hand, but he was thinking that okay, maybe I am towards my own side. So once the people, they caught him, they roughed him up, and they I think they got his pistol also. So generally the pilots, they do not have any other weapons except that one pistol. And safety gear also, there is some survival gear, like you have some in case of ejection, not only in the enemy territory, you have a radio, and you have those I think some small pills for water purification, and then some lifeboat. If you have ejected over water, you need a life vest and lifeboat. So it's a whole survival pack.
Wow.
All the pilots have that. But apart from that, I think Abhinandan was able to get rid of his this secret information, and that card, that frequency, which is considered confidential. So actually I think he's quite a professional guy, because
So
he has still not
what are these things that
uh,
you just talked about? The secret information, the card, what and
I think they
also
we yeah, we
just
call it.
one more question. I saw
Yeah.
our air chief sitting into the plane. He had this paper tied to his thigh, and what is that? Are you talking about the same thing?
Yeah, so basically, if you see any pilot, he's wearing that G suit, and in the G suit on thighs, there are two pockets. with polythene covers. So in those pockets, you put in your maps and your frequency card. The frequencies, they are confidential, kind of a secret, because if the enemy knows that what frequency you are using, they can tune in and they can listen. So a pilot, he knows that if I eject in enemy area, this frequency card, which has all the radio channels and all the code words, etc., I have to get rid of it, because if adversary gets it, many of it, and they can leak it.
But
However, we
why does he
continue
have it in the first place? Why is he carrying
for
it? He
his
could
own
just put
use.
it in
Yeah,
the
because no,
office.
no, but you can, if in air, if somebody tells me, okay, change over frequency, go to that
Oh,
channel.
okay. Because
So
you okay?
I
Because that's
cannot
changing all the
remember
time.
all that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay.
So
Okay. Okay. Okay.
basically,
Okay.
you tell them, okay, so we are flying. So let's say call it ABC.
Hmm.
So a set of frequencies: frequency A, frequency B, frequency C.
Hmm.
So now once I am going and in the air, I say, okay, I think frequency A is
So you
compromised,
keep
so
on
we need to
switching.
change over to frequency B. Yeah, so you have to see that, okay,
Hmm.
maybe some frequencies we remember also,
Hmm.
but generally you cannot remember all them. So
Hmm.
my number two or my all that
Hmm.
everybody in the air, they know, okay, frequency B, so they will just read it from the frequency
And fix
card,
it up. Hmm.
and they will
Hmm.
tune in. Yeah, so in the
Hmm.
radio,
Hmm.
and that should not go in a hand of adversary. So as I said that,
Hmm.
I think we did not get his frequency card,
Hmm.
and he has not also claimed himself. I have never seen him claiming that I have shot down
Hmm.
Pakistani F-16.
Hmm.
They have put, I think, by force Veer Chakra on him
Hmm.
for shooting down an F-16. But in no interview I have ever seen a video, Wing Commander Abhinandan, now Group Captain Abhinandan, claiming that I have shot down one F-16. Because if he actually had, it was the most, I think, precious thing or easy thing for Indians, that they would have made him a celebrity and interviews on TV
Hmm.
channels and on
Hmm.
every Independence Day parade, etc.,
Hmm.
Republic Day parade. But because I think, as I said, I respect him that he's a professional guy, he decided not to lie. That I will not lie for Indians, that
Hmm.
Indian state machinery,
Hmm.
that I have shot down an F-16. I have not yet seen a single video of
Hmm.
him claiming
Hmm.
F-16. So that I actually really respect
Hmm.
that guy.
Hmm.
He is a very professional pilot, and he was calm and composed here also after being a prisoner of war.
Yeah. Hmm. Yeah.
So
Yeah. Okay. Okay. So
so
once Abhinandan, I know this is taking too long. I'm gonna chop this up. So we're gonna do the Tejas first, and then this is gonna come afterwards. Okay. So when Abhinandan is down, when Abhinandan is in the air, he's in your domain. Once he's shot down, from Air Force's domain, he comes into the Ground Forces domain. Now you can no longer see that guy, and you have connection to the ground forces, and like they are telling you what's up. Who informs the ground forces? It's you that informs the ground forces that we have had a plane gone down, and we think that it's in landing in Pakistani territory. So it's the ground forces that reaches those coordinates. The coordinates are given by you guys, or what's going on? How do you decide this?
basically, as I said, that we were not like F-16 pilot. He's not alone there. He is on that radio with the operations room also. Then army, they have their own air defense. They have their own radars. They are on the same channels, etc. So you are constantly, this is a joint operation kind of thing, so you are in link with the ground agencies also. So as soon as the pilot, if you listen to this Top Gun also, and Fox 2 and Fox 3, so once you you fire your missile, that IR infrared missile, the call is Fox 2. And once you fire your BVR, the active BVR, the call is Fox 3. So once the pilot said Fox 3, that means that everybody now knows on that radio frequency that a BVR has been fired. Then the pilot, he can see that, okay, the missile has connected. He says splash. Splash means that that aircraft is now gone. Now everybody from that radar screen and those like pilots in the air, and they already know where the fight is happening. What is the location of the Pakistani aircraft? What is the location of the Indian aircraft? So as soon as splash, at that place the coordinates are marked, and immediately the people, I think he was Major, now he has embraced Shahadat, Major Muiz, I think he was, his name was, in an interview I think with Hamid Mir or any other journalist. So he was the one who caught
Actually,
Abhinandan.
yeah,
So
saved
once
Abhinandan. Actually, this is a
yeah, actually
performance.
saved
Yeah, yeah.
Abhinandan,
This is
absolutely,
this
yeah,
is this is a
yeah.
professional thing.
No,
The mob over there.
this is why,
Yeah.
yeah, yeah. Mob, actually, they are not happy. I'll not
Hmm.
blame them also. they think that this pilot is coming to bomb them. So
Hmm.
they should not have
Hmm.
I mean
Hmm.
hit him, but
Hmm.
still I can understand their emotions,
Hmm. Hmm.
that you are coming to bomb me, you are
Hmm.
going to
Hmm.
bomb my home, you are going to kill me and my children. So their anger,
Hmm.
it was maybe justified. But the Pakistani, as I said, that immediately
Hmm.
he was taken. I personally know, I have those like seen photos also. A Pakistani doctor of Army Medical Corps, he was stitching up Abhinandan, and he was like taking down his vitals and ECG, etc. So the Pakistani soldiers, they saved him, and he was immediately taken to a doctor.
Hmm.
And the doctor, he staged him up, he gave him pain medication, etc. And then he was taken as a prisoner of war. But the professionalism of, as I said, Abhinandan's professionalism also, and those that Pakistani troops, their professionalism.
Hmm.
So the doctor again, he like it is beyond ridiculous that I'll say that he's an Indian pilot, so I will not give first aid to
Hmm.
him.
Hmm.
The doctor just treated him as any other, as his own officer of Pakistan Army, that he is wounded, and he just gave him everything he had, and he was treated very well actually. But again, the in 1999, I think, the Kargil war, there was another prisoner of war, Flight Lieutenant Nachikita. So I think he would have also been treated in the same way. But once he became a wing commander, I saw his video some years back, and he was saying that I was not treated well,
Hmm.
and I cannot even tell you what Pakistanis did to me. And I was like, yeah,
Hmm.
okay, I don't
Hmm.
know, but I'm 100% sure that we
Hmm.
have treated him well also, and
Hmm.
Abhinandan also. So
Hmm.
that's what I'm trying to say, that this is why
So once
we
Abhinandan was
Pakistani.
captured, what was the SOPs that would be going through his minds? The things that I have to say, I can say, the things that I cannot say, do's and don'ts.
Actually, as per Geneva Convention, the prisoner of war, they have many rights, and if you have seen that video of that, he is fantastic. He replies to some of the questions that I'm sorry, I'm not supposed to tell you this.
Yeah, that's why
So
I'm
you are
asking.
only like, yeah. So
Hmm.
basically, you are supposed to give out your rank, name, and your number, service number, and just your like flying squadron. We already knew he was from 51 squadron, etc. Confidential information, let's say if I start asking him for some secrets of Indian Air Force,
Hmm. Hmm.
as per Geneva Convention, he has the right that he will say that I'm not supposed to tell you that, and I cannot torture him, or I cannot use any third degree measures. As a prisoner of war, he has all those complete rights, that he is a prisoner, but I cannot definitely just torture him or do anything bad to him. And I think we actually he handled the situation very professionally as a prisoner, and who
Hmm.
took him prisoner, we also were very, very professional,
Hmm.
and we all followed the Geneva Protocol.
Hmm. Hmm. So this is the last part. We've entered into the last part. So, uh, do the air guys want to meet such a guy when you've taken down someone? I'm sure the air guys, the Air Force people in the Air Force would be saying, "I want to meet him. I want to see him." So, do you guys like do counterparts meet each other? Like someone from our side, from of the same rank, saying, "Okay, what's up? How are you? Nice to meet you. We'll do something about this and whatever."
So I can think of one example, that in 1971, there was Indian Flight Lieutenant Tejwant Singh. His MiG-21 was shot down by F-86 Sabre, and one of his friends, like Sir Salim Beg Mirza, he was doing a course in USA, and that Tejwant Singh was doing the course in America with him. So they used to call him Tango, like they were friends. And so once you are fighting on the battlefield, that's something separate. Once he has become prisoner of war, so Sir Salim Beg Mirza went to the prison, and like he went to meet him and said, Tango, how are you? Do you need some books? Do you want anything? I can send you something to eat, etc. So I don't know any pilot who went to meet him, because he was just for 2 to 3 days here, and I think he was in army's custody and top brass. So I don't think any pilot met him, but definitely you are absolutely right that the pilots, they really like to meet pilots from other air forces. And we have like this example of 1971, that I will go and ask him that, do you need anything? Do you like to read books? Do you want to eat anything, etc. So, but in this case, I don't think any PF pilot he got the time, because we were still fighting. We were for 2 to 3 days, we were ready, we were on our job, that maybe Indians will retaliate, and by that, after 3 days, the government decided that they will send him back. So he went across the border. So I don't think anybody got the time to meet him. But generally speaking, as a pilot, unfortunately, once he gets out of the aircraft is everything to him, because he is nothing without the aircraft. So once you eject, or even once you land
That's
back
it.
and you are one individual, that's it. You do not have any commando skills. You cannot fight. Yes, you can fire weapons, like we used to fire these pistols and guns also, but that fighting of, like, we see commandos and those
Yeah, yeah.
martial
No, these
artists,
guys
and
are
yeah,
smart
so
people
you
actually.
are,
They're there
yeah,
because
yeah,
they're
yeah,
smart.
yeah.
That's
So
why.
you so a pilot once he's out of the aircraft, he actually cannot fight. Aircraft is his weapon. Aircraft is his, like,
Home. Everything.
a machine to fight, home, everything. So once Abhinandan he ejected, without his
That's it.
aircraft, he was just another individual. That's it. Yeah, he was. So I think that I actually wanted to meet him, but I had my sympathy for him, that, sir, you have lost your aircraft. Now you are just going back, and I don't know what. I don't think Indians actually treated him with enough respect. What I have heard is that they were not happy, and maybe they asked him to say that you have shot down F-16 as a professional pilot. He refused. An honorable man with integrity, but that does not, I think, it sits well with the government of India and his higher ups. So I think he was not given that much respect. Apart from that medal with Veer Chakra was pinned on his chest, he was promoted to group captain. But afterwards, what I have heard is that I think we respect him more than even Indian guys. I have more respect for him in my heart.
Last question. Did you see the movie, the Bollywood movie that was made on Abhinandan? Was there any movie? There was some movie, right?
Actually, I don't watch Bollywood movies, but there are two, three. One is, I think, that Hrithik Roshan's fighter or whatever his name is. He
Okay.
he flies inverted over runway. That is not how professional pilots like fly. And then the one thing, I have seen a clip, and I was like, I don't know whether I should laugh or I should be angry or cry. The pilot, Pakistani pilot, with the green F-16 and with kajal or like surma in his eyes, and I don't understand why Bollywood directors or producers or whatever, why do you think that Pakistanis and Muslims, they have their surma and that Palestinian scarf, kafia, and so I have seen clips of that movie, but Alhamdulillah, I don't waste my time with Bollywood movies, so I have not seen any complete movie. But I think there are two, three. One was some Mirage 2000, and one this Su-30 of this Hrithik Roshan, and there is another also, some their actress, that Kangna Ranaut, with, I think, Tejas aircraft or whatever. So there are many, but I am not aware of any movie made on Abhinandan.
Just wanted to know how correct they are in movies. Just wanted to know that. Ali Bhai, it's always
No,
very.
they
Yeah.
actually on. Sorry, I'll just say one thing, that actually I think this is the reason for their downfall. That their policy makers, whether military or civilian, top brass, they actually believe in Bollywood, that whatever we shoot in our movies, we are actually capable of that. The Uri movie, Uri Attack, I think there was a movie that a single commando, Indian commando, he came, and I don't know, he killed how many Pakistani soldiers single-handedly. But in real life, what happens is, we have already seen in 2019 and 2025, but their delusion, I think it originates from these Bollywood
Bollywood.
movies. So yeah, that's the problem with them.
There are many actors in the assembly now. That also goes to show a lot of things. A lot of things. Ali Bhai, it's always so interesting having you on the show. Thank you very much for this detailed talk. A lot of curiosity has been fed. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much for having me. Allah Hafiz.
Allah Hafiz.